Hi, how are you? Welcome to Facebook Live. I'm Tabitha with Tomlyn, and I am here with Bryn.
Hello.
From A Dog Walks Into the Bar. We are here at BlogPaws 2018. It's an awesome conference. We're meeting a lot of great people, getting a lot of great information for animals. So we are interviewing today Bryn, and we're just going to talk to her about her business. She's going to show us a few interesting things.
Yeah.
And if you have any questions, please just participate. Let us know what they are, and we'll get to you. So thanks for joining us. Let's start off. Tell us about your business.
Sure. So I have a blog. It's called A Dog Walks Into a Bar. It's named that way because I like dogs and I also like drinking, so I might as well put the two together. And I have been having a lot of fun. It's almost 4 years old at this point.
Awesome.
And I mostly talk about opportunities for people to spend time with their dogs in breweries and wineries or dog-friendly locations, products that we really like, things that will help to ensure the quality of life for our pets, and just have fun. So that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the blog.
Sure.
So when people can go on, what are they going to read?
Sure. So my posts kind of range. Hi, Amanda. My posts range, but we do like to talk a lot about pet ownership, try to be aware, so when we go to conferences, what are the trends, what are our followers looking to learn more about. A lot of people have questions about holistic care, how to ensure that our dogs are getting the best care that they can receive, the best products that they can receive, and to gain access to that to make sure that it's something that they can actually get their paws on. And we're also noticing a lot of people who are looking to learn more about ways in which they can really share experiences.
Awesome.
So going to locations that are dog friendly, having those experiences together, those are things that a lot of people are really hoping to add on to. So being able to highlight those areas that are dog friendly and ways in which people can share their experiences together has been something we've been trying to talk a lot about as well.
Awesome. So do you want to tell our fans where they can follow you and participate?
Sure. So the blog is called A Dog Walks Into a Bar. That's also the URL. So it's just that whole phrase. If you are curious, there is a contest happening right now because people ask about the punchline, and I don't have one yet. So if you want to enter and possibly win the prize, the contest ends tomorrow night, so after the Nose to Nose Awards. So I've gotten a few interesting suggestions already for punchlines.
And what's the punchline for?
Yeah, just because people are curious. So a dog walks into a bar and then people ask, and then what?
Okay, got it. Got it.
I don't have an answer quite yet, but
Yes.
I really feel like I should. So there's one that suggested that's a dog walks into a bar, orders water because it can't handle its liquor. Lickr. So that's an example of one of the possibilities for a winner. Although we have a judge panel that will make that final decision. For other social media channels, basically A Dog Walks Into a Bar in different variations. On Twitter, it's just Dog Walks Into Bar because there's not too many characters. And on Instagram, there are periods between each letter. So A period, dog period. And we are very social on, I think our most active account would be Instagram. That's where we are most active, along with Facebook.
Okay, great. Thank you. So you mentioned the Nose to Nose Awards.
Yes.
Tell us about that, and congratulations.
Thank you.
For being one of the nominees.
So I'm a finalist this year. I was a finalist last year and the year before as well. So maybe this year I'll win.
Yes.
This year I'm a finalist for 3 different categories.
Wow.
For Best Photo, Best Video in a Sponsored Post, and Best Humor Blog. Can you introduce your dog? I will. This is Yoda. He's not a real dog. He's fake. But this is the plush version of Yoda. I have a plush version of Bean too, but she's not with us because she took too much room in the packing container, also known as suitcase. So thank you, Mackenzie, for the congrats. So the other category that we're finalists for is Best Humor Blog, which I did not expect. I guess I'm funny, so we'll see how that goes too.
That's awesome.
And I can't wait to see who wins. And there's a lot of really talented bloggers, so it would be fun to see and cheer everyone on too.
Good. Well, good luck. Who knows?
Thank
You might
you.
take away with all three.
I hope so. That would be fantastic.
Well, do you want to tell us about Yoda? and
Sure.
Bee?
So
The
this
stars.
is Yoda. Ta-da! We has a beer bow tie today, which is fitting. We have 2 Boston Terriers. Yoda joined us as an adult. So when he first joined us, he really didn't know how to dog. He came to us having been in he was a stud for a breeder. So he didn't know how to dog, so we had to teach him just how to play and what stares were. So he's still figuring out dogging, and he's also still figuring out how to be a sibling with Bean. So, sometimes they are not always in love with each other, but
Sure.
that's, I think, true for a lot of pet parents.
Yes.
Bean is the dog that sort of started this whole crazy adventure, so much so that she's tattooed on my leg.
Oh, awesome.
So I can't show you because I'd have to take my pants off, but she's there. And Bean is a diva who has allergies, a sensitive stomach. She had cancer already once, so she's had a tumor removed. And she is a stubborn creature who is also a bucket of love. And my life is completely different now that I have the 2 of them. There's also more farts, so there's that. But they are fantastic dogs.
It's worth it, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you had mentioned with them not getting along. Is it one of those that is it like when it comes around food time, or just when they need more attention?
Honestly, I think Bean is so mindful of everything, and she's so aware that she gets jealous if I give him attention and not her. And we've been very mindful of this for a while, of just making sure that they both have their own special one-on-one time. And I think a lot of pet parents forget to do that. But we'll go on a day trip with Bean, and then we'll go on a day trip with Yoda, to really just make sure that they both are getting that one-on-one time with their humans.
Yeah. That's a great idea.
Yeah. And just to have that experience, but even just sometimes we'll put Bean in her crate with the toy, and then we'll snuggle with Yoda, and then we'll swap out. So that way everyone has that attention. But it's usually attention. There's no food aggression. They eat next to each other, and that's totally fine. They eat different food, and that's fine. Yoda doesn't really understand toys, so he just drools on them a lot and then leaves them on the floor. He doesn't really care about that piece. It's really just who's getting more attention, and apparently Bean has a notebook, and she's like keeping tabs.
Oh my. That's cute.
Yeah.
But it's good that you've noticed that as a pet parent, and that you've taken it upon yourself to really differentiate between the dogs,
Right.
and give them that additional attention.
Yes.
I think that's great, because I don't hear that often at all.
Yeah. And the other thing that we do still is we bring them both to training, and we also do independent training with them. So as soon as we got a second dog, we brought them both to dog kindergarten, basically, to remind them on proper manners, and also just socializing with other groups of dogs. So I think that's something that a lot of pet parents don't really think about when they're bringing another dog into their fray, but I think it was a really helpful way to engage them, get them a little bit more mentally tired too, but also introduce them to just proper engagement with each other and other types of dogs too.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Have you written a blog about that yet?
I haven't, but
Oh,
that's a
there you
really
go.
good idea.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'll tuck that away in the
that'd
back
be
pocket. Yeah.
Let's see. Oh, yeah. So we were talking earlier before we came live that you like to donate a lot.
Yes.
Time and money to certain, sponsors. Well, not really sponsors, but I guess different organizations.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Sure. So there are quite a few animal rescue organizations in our area that are very involved with helping dogs in need. There are parts of Western Massachusetts, which is where I'm from, that there are quite a few families that really care about dogs and just don't have the means to afford some of the elements associated with caring for their dogs. So one of the shelters that we work with pretty frequently is called Dakin, and they provide very affordable spay and neuter programs, very cost-effective immunization opportunities for them. And they also have, I don't know what the right term for it, they have a pet food pantry. So if they really need food, and a lot of the families that there are quite a few transient populations in our area where they still have their dogs, but they don't necessarily have a home.
Oh, wow.
So making sure that they have a resource to be fed is something that particular rescue organization provides. So we work pretty frequently with Dakin. That's the organization that we work with most often. And most brands that we collaborate with know that if I receive product, a portion of that product will likely be donated. And if I receive pay or any sort of compensation, a portion of that will also be donated.
Awesome.
And sometimes brands, and sometimes I will even ask the brand to not provide me with anything and to make a donation on my behalf for either a rescue organization that they are connected with or is closer to them, or the one that we work closely with. Whatever really makes sense with that organization, and the time. So when I worked with an organization that was in the Houston area right around the time the hurricane occurred, so it made more sense for them to just do whatever they could for what was close to their home. And I've just basically helped to raise awareness for that organization.
Wow.
So up to this point, it's been a little over 3 years, we've been able to donate more than $10,000 worth of products,
Wow.
food, and also money to the rescue organization in Western Massachusetts.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if someone would like to help you, either with the payment, and you can kind of help with that as well, or there's companies out there that are watching this and they really want to donate product and help, what's the best way for them to get that to you or contact you?
I would write any social channel. I'm on all of them. I can't not look at my phone for less than every couple minutes. So I'm pretty active in those different social channels, and my email is dogwalksintoabar@gmail.com. So that's a great way for a person to touch base. And same is true with brands. And this is not my main source of income. I have a full-time job. I just want to A, have fun, B, drink beer at some point, and C, help animals as much as possible.
That's awesome. Well, good. Well, thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
I know it means a lot, for sure. And we'll definitely be helping you with products.
Yay!
Sending them your way to
Thank
help
you.
out.
Yes.
You were also telling me earlier about a couple products that you have used in the past on either Yoda or Bean.
Correct.
Do you want to cover that with the audience?
Sure.
Let them know?
So I met, I don't remember who, but a fantastic person from Tomlyn when I was at Bark World in Atlanta. And I had no knowledge of the product. But I had a dog who had ear infections almost once a month.
Wow.
So I came on over and I got myself the ear wash, which did not explode in my suitcase, which I was really excited about. And that was my introduction to Tomlyn. So I think that's pretty much the only product I brought home with me. And then at that point, I continued to try new products. So the products that we use on a daily basis, I'll show you. Pill paste. It doesn't actually come with Jackson Galaxy inside. He's just on the bottle. I did a drive-by shooting so he was at Global with Tomlyn, and he was on break, so I didn't want to go and give him a noogie because I'm pretty sure he would have been unhappy. So I just did a quick drive-by photo of him as proof that it was there. So the pill paste we use every day. Bean takes 2 medications for her allergies, and she is very skilled at cheeking her medication and spitting it out when we're not looking. So I'm petting the fake dog like he's
That's
really
okay. That's all right.
Thank you. So we use pill paste all the time, and I really appreciate it because you can use exactly what you need to cover the pill, without it actually being wasted in any way. And it smells like bacon. I haven't eaten it yet, but I'm pretty sure it tastes like bacon. And Yoda wants to eat it, but he doesn't need a pill on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome to be able to have something that you don't waste that product if you don't need it.
And you can also use it as a treat.
You can use it as a treat. It's a great trainer because it's that soft. You can break it up. And stinky treats are the best kind of treats for training. So if you can use it for that, that's why like stinky cheese is a good thing too. But then your hands smell like cheese. Isn't necessarily a bad thing. Bean is now considered a senior. So every day we also give her your senior, what's it called? What's the right term for it? Multivitamin. So the multivitamin chew.
Okay, this one. We have several.
Yeah, there are several options.
Several different kinds.
So, and Yoda always tries to eat it, even though he doesn't need it, because it smells like bacon, and he really wants it.
Poor Yoda.
He doesn't have issue. He's basically a baked potato. Like there's nothing. So he just farts, and that's his resting state, and that's all
Makes
that's
him happy.
happening.
That's right.
So we use the multivitamin for the dogs, for Bean, and then we also use the probiotic every day. And that has helped a tremendous amount with, so I mentioned farts and it's joking, but they really don't fart a lot. And when they do, it's hysterical, but it's not as stinky as a person would expect. And I really think it's because of the probiotic.
You know, I think you're right. So she makes a really good point with the digestion. So just like us as humans, when our stomachs get upset or we're nervous or things like that, it starts to gurgle. Same with animals. So she had mentioned our pre and probiotics, and we have individual wrapped. So every time you open the packet for each day and you pour it on, it's actually fresh bacteria.
So it lasts, and you don't have to refrigerate it.
Yes.
It lasts. I wouldn't hold on to it for more than 5 years and expect for it to be amazing, but you know, a couple months is. We get it a month supply as we go, and we order it through. They don't have it at our local pet store, so we normally order it online.
Okay.
And it comes to us in a couple of days, which is fantastic. And we just got a chance to try, and I'm glad that we got it so recently because pretty much as soon as we got home, it was allergy season. The water additive so it's an all-natural product. It's a water additive that you just stick into their bowl. There's no smell or taste. They don't notice that it's there. And it can't harm either creature. But if they need anything, their body will absorb that element that will help them to not be itchy. So when I read the back, there were all natural products. So it was, I think I saw, did I see rosemary on there?
Probably.
So things that, like, you can read it. You actually know what's there. And it might be psychosomatic for me, but it looks like she's been itching less this time of year, and it's hay fever season in Massachusetts right now, which is why I also sound kind of like I've been a smoker for 15 years. So it's something that I've noticed, and I really enjoyed that.
Awesome. Well, and it's good too. So the product you're talking about is the Natural Pharmaceuticals product, or NPP by King Bio, and multiple species can drink out of the water.
Yeah.
And you only need a capful every time you change the water. So that's nice. You don't have to have a dose every single day. So it makes it very easy for you as a pet parent. Hopefully stress-free, because all you have to do is put a little half capful in the water and you're good to go.
Yeah. And we do have a water bowl that actually holds a large amount of water. So I just do it every couple of days. Because it holds, I think, like a half gallon of water.
Awesome.
But it doesn't harm them, so I don't really, it's not that big of a deal either way, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Awesome. And I think one last story you were telling me, which I was really surprised but good to hear, was with our NutriCal, the high-calorie supplement.
Right. So I had contacted someone from Tomlyn basically out of desperation because Bean, for about 6 months, and she never really she wasn't much of an eater ever since we got her. But for about 6 months, she just didn't eat. She didn't want to eat. She had no interest in eating, and she was losing her body weight. And I was desperate. I had no idea what else to do. We had gone to the veterinarian. There was no real reason medically that was causing it. So I had been able to get it's called high caloric or high calorie gel, and it looks like a gel. It smells delicious. And it doesn't have them all. Oh yeah. And you can do a few things with it. So I introduced it by just putting a little by my finger and having her lick it as a treat, as a reward, almost like peanut butter. So then she recognized that smell, and I would actually smear a layer on the bottom of her bowl and then put her food into it. And that was the only way that she would eat for about 6 months. And then finally we were able to find a food that was a better fit for her, and she actually eats now. But we still have that. Every once in a while she just says, nope, not eating. So we'll entice her with rimming a piece of the bowl, and it does make her want to eat. And we've also, you can actually do this as a treat, where if you wanted to make it into basically like an ice cube. I've done that before. So I put it in an ice tray, like a little silicone, and freeze it, and then put it on top of stuff to keep them cool and entertained. So you can do other stuff with it too. But it was a life changer for Bean for a long time.
Good. Well, thank you for trying the products.
Yeah.
So definitely, is there anything else you'd like to add?
When I first researched Tomlyn, I didn't realize until I went online that the founders are veterinarians. And then I've appreciated the opportunity to even be in touch with the veterinarians on staff. So the fact that you actually have a veterinarian staff team that are contributing to the makeup of your products makes me comfortable with using them. And that isn't necessarily true with some of the other brands that you encounter. So that awareness of what is going into the product and how it's affecting our dogs and our cats, because for example, the pill paste is also for cats too. That makes me feel okay, both using it but also sharing it with our followers too.
Awesome, thank you. You are right. A lot of people don't know that we do stringent testing. So we're also owned by Betty Phenol, and they've been around over 80 years. Tomlyn's been around over 40 years. So we go by the exact same standards that they do on the vet side. Even though Tomlyn's OTC, so any type of testing, palatability testing, like you had said, guaranteed analysis, making sure the shelf life is correct, the ingredients are correct. You're absolutely right. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, and I really appreciate it. And then when you started with horses, correct?
Yes, in fact, we still work with horses. Yes.
So that just got me excited because I like horses. But,
oh, good.
I just really appreciate the fact that you're so mindful of that, and that's a piece of who you represent as an organization.
Wonderful. Well, thank you.
Yes.
And thank you guys for joining us. We really appreciate it. And definitely check out the blog and all her other social media platforms. And we hope you have a great day.
Yes.
Thanks so much.
Have a great afternoon.
Bye-bye.